From art to buildings, the way we invest in assets could be about to fundamentally change with the arrival of tokenization. Tokenization of assets threatens to disrupt many industries, in particular the financial industry. Let us first take a look at what do we mean by assets, token, tokenomics, and tokenization before jumping into some of the use cases. So what are assets? The ownership of assets is one of the most interesting concepts by human beings. I'm sure you will agree with me. According to Mother Nature, everything belongs to everyone, like it is in animal kingdom. But we humans have divided things or nature among us. The concept of this belongs to me or I own, whereas this does not belong to me or I do not own. Assets are of many kinds, most notably real assets. They are physical assets that draw their value from substance or properties such as precious metals, land, real estate, and commodities like oil seeds, lentils, grains, oil, and iron. Intangible assets. They are the valuable property that is not physical in nature. They include patents, trademarks, and intellectual property. Financial assets. This is a liquid asset that gets its value from a contractual right or ownership claim. Cash, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and bank deposits are all examples of financial assets. An asset ownership or interest document is a legal document that acts as evidence of your ownership of an asset, including real estate, machinery, intellectual property rights, and office buildings. And what are tokens? Token is a tangible representation of a fact, quality, feeling, etc. For example, one's driver license or a card key of your hotel room is a token. In a cryptoverse, a token is a representation of something in its ecosystem. It could be a value, a stake, a voting right, or anything. A token is not limited to one specific role. It can fulfill a lot of roles in its native ecosystem. A token is defined through its function. A good token has utility within the ecosystem, resists inflationary pressures, is scalable or denominational, is a store of value, it is fungible, is acceptable to people at large, and is traded on an exchange. Must incentivize its use. Now, let us look at tokenomics. Tokenomics consists of two words, token and economics. Tokenomics is the quality of a token which will convince users or investors to adopt it and help build the ecosystem around the underlying project of that token. To put it simply, anything that impacts the token's value is a part of tokenomics. Some of the important components of tokenomics are business model. One of the most critical factors to look into is the business model of the project. Projects should have a robust model with which they can make money. Crypto coins like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash are only used for payment purposes. Hence, they don't need complicated business models. However, for decentralized applications which aim to be more than simple payment systems need to have a robust business model. Token allocation. This is about how the token is actually going to be distributed and the lockup period on the tokens given to the stakeholders. Legal. Then you will have the legal side to it like conflict or dispute resolution. This will also involve legal compliance in the country where the project is being launched needs to be maintained. Token structure. Structure of the token and how well it fits into the project is very important and deep subject and needs to be looked at. Type of tokens or token category. it is important to know what kind of token the project is dealing with. Layer 1 versus Layer 2, Ethereum versus OMG. Real world utility. The next thing that you will need to look into to gain a proper perspective on the tokenomics of the project is its real world utility. In other words, is the project bringing any real world value into the market? Is the project's platform entirely dependent on the token? If yes, then that is a project that is worth investing in. Last but not the least, the team that is behind any tokenization project, which is critical in determining if the coin or the token has any chance of gaining widespread adoption. And lastly, the tokenization. Tokenization is a process of transformation of asset accounting and management in which the ownership of an asset is represented by a digital token. A blockchain-based tokenization is the key to this revolution in the asset trading. The concept is to issue digital tokens representing units of ownership, which are recorded on a blockchain. A token then serves as an accounting unit proving ownership and providing transparency throughout all the transactions. Research and surveys from institutions such as the World Economic Forum or McKinsey predict that up to 10% of the global gross domestic product will be stored and transacted with the help of blockchain technology by 2025-2027. Before we start looking at some of the benefits and use cases, it would be important to look at the limitations and reasons for the same in current asset accounting and trading systems. What are the limitations? Lack of transparency in the accounting process, particularly in the history of